My family them, una good evening. I hope say una all they do well. I hope say any side where una fend una self na the world. I hope say una did it with Colat. This evening again, we don't come for can't talk about Salone issues. Thing them where they happen na the place usai we come out. Thing them where they happen na the place where we call the land that we love, Mama Salone. Today, I sit down here so with two special people them. For can talk about the war amputees them and how we war amputees them continue for so far, and now then they face so many money them, you know, inside Salone, not so just inside Freetown no more, but inside the entire Sierra Leone. So we get for can talk about this today. And as we dey go, we also get for look at some other thing them. But then thing so na thing where even as we dey talk about the politics, even as we dey argue about this, even as we dey talk about the human rights, sometimes it can good for make we engage the practitioners them. The one the way they do the work, the one the way they interact with the people them, where don't leave their own wahala. When are they know who side and sus they born and how they born them. So now that make we sit down here so this evening. This evening time I go make Pastor Okafor Smart tell una ado and make a tell family and kusha this evening for where you know then take them time for can sit down for can make we can talk this talk.
Good evening, viewers. Good evening, Matilda.
Okay. And then I go invite me other Alejo wake sit down with Pastor Faith, where a name na Awana to Bangura. I go make Awana to Bangura himself tell family I do this evening.
Family day na do. Good evening, everybody.
Yes. Indeed, not to all time the talk go sweet. Not to all time we go drink vimto like I can say. Time then there where we get for drink bang bang. And today you talk na bang bang we there so for sit down for drink. Sometimes there we need for pull the warm then come out na the belly. Sometimes there we need for beat the malaria. And today we sit down and ask for beat the malaria, for pull the warm then come out na we belly. So I not go waste much time. I go to the technical team, make the technical team play for we some videos them for set the scene. But even as the technical team they work on that. If some of you have been there last week Saturday, now the special roundtable we I do with some parliamentarians them, when I go notice say at the very end I ask one question. I ask them say, waiting at the plan of government for make sure say the war amputees are taken care of. I say them people there so they don't pay the greatest price for we country. I say so. The best thing we for able to do for them now for at least make sure say they live a peaceful life, they live a life of dignity until the time where God himself say he call them from this dunya, he take them to himself. And when I be here waiting one pan the honorable been say. And because of time, I not press on too much. Because we don't pass with them. But trust me, like I've been promised them, I say the talk not done here, so the talk will continue. So indeed, the talk not done here, so the talk will continue. I should say some of you now go the one that say, why make Matilda wear popu? So Jesus, it's just the popu we this evening time. Well, una go get for no why make a well the popu. Very soon, una hang tight and make we go. I hand over to the technical team. Make it show we some video them for set the scene.
The Melkosh Mission International is a humanitarian organization headed by Reverend Sister Faith Okafor Smart, who has been helping war-wounded and amputee victims for 10 years now. During the scourge of the COVID-19 pandemic, most of the vulnerable communities did not benefit from government's aid. Mohamed Tarawari is the national president for the war-wounded and amputees. He said during the lockdown, they were left out of government's food distribution scheme.
Governments supposed to give, they're not able to give to the amputees and the war victims. Expect say government could think but we because what if it don't happen at this country, we think and say not enough for account for disability them where we not for included.
Angry was this year. I never seen in my life. But I tell God thank you. And this person we don't come. Me not say this go sustain for 1 month. I will manage me and my family.
Because we expect the government for do something for we. But government, they say they supply the disabled, not war victims.
The country coordinator for the Melkosh Mission International, Pastor Tambafino, said this is a continuation of support to the war wounded and amputees, adding that the mission stepped in to rescue the vulnerable community.
The donation come as a result, not what they do, I guess a continuation. We done on this for 10 good years. So this, I guess, a continuation. But what important actually I make a needful at this time was that we began the lockdown, government be give out donation to persons of disability. But unfortunately, the amputee and war wounded, when are war victims, them not benefit from this donation. Now only a peck of them in the provinces now them benefit from it. So
over hundreds of war wounded victims benefited from this donation from all over the country. They pleaded to government to consider them with support as they sacrificed a lot for peace and stability in the country after the 11-year civil war. James Tambamatha, AYV Primetime News in Freetown.
Supply up to now. Government don't give it? No. So that lobby will lobby with Sister Faith for like help we because since government not give it, like it's sorry for we now, yeah. Look at small yam. So that make it go strictly by that day. And it want we all we go join Mr. Martin. He say who da no day, we not forget. And who da no come, you not forget because you know, make ID card for them. So what do they supply here? Then they televise them, they make sure they send all to them. Then they provide the ID card, they send them back to how distribute and all months. So we make up their business now. If you know they, you go send somebody because say, tell me ID card go.
this donation actually target the amputees, the war amputees, the war wounded, the sexually abused as a result of the war. They don't help we in education, they don't help we in food, in medication. So when this thing come, where this pandemic come, then touch and feed for continue, they help to we the victims.
I just help here from Melkosh International because I've been stressed. I deal with my family for the past 2 weeks. So no one place. I know they sell, I know they buy, I don't get anything for do. So I don't be find that easy for a lot live to the family. So they're in an empty garden all they eat. But this help I don't get from Melkosh International. I'm so glad they appreciate and they bless them, they go continue to provide for them.
Me like this lockdown here, I know go talk, and it's nobody like. The guy angry was this year. I never seen in my life. But I tell God thank you. And this person we don't come. Me not say this go sustain for 1 month. I will manage me and my family for 1 month. So I tell God thank you. I know this is not help for me. If you get money, I go able to buy now 5 there now plus 16 there now. If you not get self, you even cook dry rice. You put salt pan now. You cook it. So you go able to sustain the life.
Well, actually, the donation come as a result. Not what they do. Now, I guess a continuation. We don't do on this for 10 good years. So this, I guess, a continuation. But what prompted actually I make a needful at this time was that we began the lockdown. Government be give out donation to persons of disability. But unfortunately, the amputee and war wounded, when are war victims, then not benefit from this donation. Now only a peck of them in the provinces now them benefit from it. So we thought and fit that we will reach out onto them because I mean they're not participate on the normal activities any longer, and so life will be difficult for them if we not come to the aid for give this donation.
Thank God, and I feel good for this thing what Mommy Faith do for me. So because government time for this stuff, but government fail we not even do this thing for we. We thank God for Mommy Faith, what he do for me. So we appreciate him for Melcos International. Lord, make God open a way, guide and protect her. All the donors the way there, Lord God bless her. Tell her plenty thank you for what he do for us.
Okay, because now gift we are not be expect from sister in a sister Faith, and she say it do big thing for me because he give it this gift and in time be needed. We not be expect them at all because we expect the government for do something for we. But government they say they supply the disabled, not the war victims. The war victims not receive any single cup of rest from the government.
They affect we body, we felt left out and discriminated against because I believe say we as war victim forbid the primary responsibility of government. So if government give a donation for persons with disability and the left we marginalized we feel disappointed, we feel discriminated against, and we feel marginalized. My recommendation to government and people in governance is that they first give consideration to especially the war victims, because if we get peace in this country today, now because we swallow the peace. If we say we not go do and we have the potential to go families, we get to picking them, I mean they say go on rampage. But all that to look out for the peace of this country, we say we will overset her. Now make anything what they do for let the peace be sustainable and let a world water therefore they consider we. Because if you look at your disability, there is no saying a person cause them and no assistance no day. And in the area that other countries there which are war take place, their countries or their governments are taking care of them, and we left out. It damn too discouraging. I mean, in fact, it is like push we for die faster.
If you ever see me na Facebook and una ever see the name Melkosh Mission and una ever wonder, say, wetin make Matilda they raise money during her birthday, or wetin make Matilda they post about Melkosh Mission, I hope say now una get a clear picture why I they do that and why I can post them there. And why on my birthday I can endeavor for raise fund. These funds, as you see, are very hard for recognize somebody with disabilities. But what is not hard to recognize is someone that is a war-wounded victim, that is a war amputee. That is not hard to recognize. You know, yesterday I listened to the Minister of Education, even as they ask and say, why make it deviate from making prosthetics to entering into the education field as he did. And then say, the person asking the question say, there are so many people who are needing prosthetics in Sierra Leone. Why don't you focus on this? I thought this was your vision. This was your goal. And his response was, well, I deviate a little bit, but at some point I will come back to them. The question where I get to ask the minister, I hold it until we sit as I am sitting here today. And on that day, I will ask him that question. He threw me a challenge and said, send in your request and I will come and answer your question. So I'm putting it out there in the open that I've taken your challenge as you threw it, as I challenged you in the open and you accepted in the open, and in the open, I will put it again to say that if you want to put a face to the person who send you that message, this is the face. And as you don't accept my challenge, I am going to do everything in my power to make sure we sit and have that conversation. And on that day, the question that I would have asked today, I will ask on that day by God in power. One thing I want to make una all know, say during this lockdown, not a single war victim, war raped, war orphan, war widow, war amputee was left out in this distribution in all the corners of Sierra Leone as we know it. Not a single. Pastor Faith, tell people them waiting a Malkosh and waiting Malkosh mean to this cause.
Okay, thank you so much, Matilda. Me people them, viewers, Melkosh na charity where God himself na impact this assignment 16 years ago, but I started the mission 12 years ago in 2008. God sent me to specifically the war amputees there. He said the people there where the government don't forget, the people there where we Salone people they don't forget, the people there where we brothers and sisters don't forget. Now they send me to for make it go help and for make it go able for restore hope and dignity back to them. So for the last 12 years, we done the work with war amputees, them, war wounded, war rape victims, war orphans, war widows in the area of health, education, food and protection subvention in crisis, be it during the Ebola, during and of course with Corona, we don't do by the special grace of God. I thought now we mission don't go nationwide, meaning that in all the districts of Sierra Leone, we make provision for war victims, them in the area of a bag of rice, a household, each war victim household receive a bag of rice, face mask, bundles of water, antibacterial soap, and Veronica bucket. And we will go across all the 16 districts, every town, and all the war victims that we able to locate. Over 753 war victim families receive the donation. They asked Una will see the video where we show that was just the first phase. And when I hear from the horse's mouth, the people them waiting then say the war amputees, the citizens of Sierra Leone.
Yes, the war amputees, the citizens of Sierra Leone. I can always talk, say, now a segment where when then they talk, they not can be included, and can be ignored, and can be forgotten. But guess what? They are Sierra Leoneans too. Guess what? They represent the green, white, and blue too. Guess what? They are sons and daughters of the soil and possible future leaders of the soil. So on the 3rd of December this year, which was the International Day of Persons with Disabilities, the president made a statement. And the theme we then put for this year in Sierra Leone, not all disabilities are visible. Indeed, not all disabilities are visible, and that in something where everybody need for recognize and where everybody need for acknowledge. I want to read part of the president in speech. And if una way gets the speech them and we want follow me, I they go to page 2 of the speech I they take them from the very last paragraph of page 2 of the speech, and it reads: in our medium-term development plan, we have made specific commitments in Cluster 5, empowering women, children, and persons with disability. That we will pursue a comprehensive program for persons with disability that is driven by the principle of leave no one behind and consistent with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals Agenda 2030. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, we are working to create a more inclusive and equitable society for all persons with disabilities, and we have made some progress. Hawanato, in this statement, leave no one behind. Indeed, we cannot afford to leave anyone behind, because everyone get access to the cake, to the Sierra Leonean cake. Everybody need that access there. But what have we done so far, or how far have we come with making progress in being inclusive, for be inclusive, for bring everybody, including the war amputee, the war orphans, the war rape, the war wounded, the war widows, into the fold? How far have we come?
Thank you, Matilda. For me, what's okay? I did it during the war. I see everything will happen. I see the camps being built. I see them people there, so they put in a camp. I see even, I know somebody personally that was a war rape victim. She was captured for over a year, came bleeding. And for me, for even resident camp, they exist. It's worrisome. I not think so that government don't prioritize them people they are so. Because if they prioritize them people they are so, then for don't build a suitable places for them, set up income-based program where these people will be helped. But when you go na tongue, now then same people that are the seen at treat the big. And that's now one of the reasons we make I even draw closer to Melkesh. Because when I hear listen that them people here then they help, I was so happy. I was so glad. I started looking for crutches, wheelchairs, walkers, just to do my part. I started telling my friends that are not Sierra Leonean, just for them to join on. So the only change when we go say I don't see, now waiting we now Melkesh they do. Other than that, I not see nothing put in place for them people also. I not see no change, because Salone then sabi talk, then go corner the camera and make name and say, well, we don't get this, or then go before the international bodies and say, well, we don't talk now, this definitely not the problem, this way they go on. Then so good for show the problem, because the problems are there, but the solution never gets to the people. So for me, where anybody challenge me to it and show me the difference where the government don't make, but there is difference being made through Melkesh. So that's the only difference that I can talk about.
Okay. Difference being made through Melkesh, that is the only difference that you can talk about. And when I say government, let it be clear, I mean government post-war Sierra Leone. Every single government, every single president that has sat on that seat of the highest office of the Republic. That is who my question is going to tonight. Dead or alive, every single one of them. What have you done for this segment of population? How far have you come in making sure they live a comfortable life? How far have you come in recognizing that they pay one of the greatest prices them during the war? And I continue reading on. As a country, we have submitted the first country report on the status of implementation of the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities to the Committee of Experts on Disability. We have presented our country's progress report on the Charter of Change Commitment on Disability to the Global Disability Summit. As a government, we have worked with partners to scale up investment in mental health care infrastructure, equipment, medical supply, staff training, and service delivery. As part of our radical inclusion approach to education, we are developing comprehensive strategies to support all learners with cognitive and physical disabilities. My government has also provided grants to organizations of persons with disabilities and special needs schools for effective service delivery to learners with special needs. Pastor Faith, your organization absolutely have all of those people listed in this list. What grants have you received and how much is the grant and what are you going to be doing with those grants?
Sierra Leone has never given a single dime towards the work we do. And I am not aware of any donation that has been given directly to even the office of the War Wounded and War Amputee Association that is based in Aberdeen. They have an office there that was built by the Norwegian Friends of Sierra Leone. Not one grant has been given. Grants may have been given to the National Commission for People of Disabilities or for Disabilities. Unfortunately, because of the institutionalized discrimination within the disability community and sector, and even the commission, the National Commission, the amputees at the bottom of the pile hardly ever considered for any initiative, any transformation initiative that comes, any restorative justice, anything that comes along that comes to the National Commission. If funds are given there, it never trickles down to the war victims, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, Pastor Faith has just told us that if these grants have been given to the strata of the population in our society, as I have just listed, our organization is yet to receive anything, has never received anything. So, Mr. President, even as you make your speech, I dare challenge you right now to make sure you contact Melkosh Mission or whoever is in charge and responsible, contact Melkosh Mission. Their work speaks for itself. And therefore, if such fund is available, I believe, say, then I want and the organization them way for day number one. We forget them funding here. So I continue reading on. The National Commission for Persons with Disability and the Minister of Social Welfare have conducted the first ever accessibility audit of some government buildings. The report lists accessibility challenges and possible strategies for addressing those challenges. This year also, my government has increased budgetary allocation to the National Commission for Persons with Disability to implement activities that will better the lives of persons with disabilities. In the implementations of those activities, I also ask the government to make sure that in their strategies, they look at the physical disabilities and the needs of the war amputees and war wounded, and they make sure that they are included as part of this overall plan. And I continue to read on. My government has expanded the social safety net program to cover persons with disability. In addition to providing social safety support to persons with disability during the short lockdown, my administration has also implemented a Closing the Gap project to address the disproportionate impact of COVID-19 on persons with disability. Pastor Faith, I want you to speak to that as well.
Okay, that is totally wrong when it comes to the sector, the target population of people with disabilities, i.e. war victims, war wounded and war amputees, put aside or the war widows and all the war orphans. I would like to address the fact that we became aware that over $7 million was given to the government of Sierra Leone to make provisions and subventions for vulnerable communities. Unfortunately, the war victims were not included in this package. We had to contact NACSA, which is the National Commission of Social Change and Action in Sierra Leone, and we were told, and they was told, our team, the War Amputee Association themselves went to NACSA, and they were told that they were not included in the package. So we had to get to the point of actually contacting somebody who eventually redirected us to the director of programs, Madam Regina Safa of NACSA. She's the director of programs. And I told her that if Sierra Leone does not make provisions for the war victims, as in this time, considering the fact that even when we had Ebola, not one penny from the government, the APC government went to Sierra Leone against Sierra Leone under SLPP, making the same mistake. I said we will take this to BBC. And we were in the process of writing an open letter, which we were going to get United Nations involved and the International Human Rights. And she said to me, please put a hold on that. Sierra Leone, the monies we have received, it's not really for war amputees, but it is for the people who are begging on the streets. Now, amputees live in socially isolated locations. All the camps that where the Norwegian Friends of Sierra Leone built for them are not within the immediate vicinity. And so many a times, except they go begging, you don't really see them out there. And they're not reached. And access to service does not come to them. So what she said was that they have given to those around about the cotton tree who live there. The amputees live between Grafton, going downwards to, western rural, in the rural areas. Majority of them, that's where they live. And so, of course, there was no access. Again, I probe the question. So what is your administration doing, considering that they fall under the vulnerable group? And she said to me that, well, we've not been able to make provisions, and what we've given, we've exhausted what we had, but we'll see how we could reconsider them. Meanwhile, there were hundreds of bags of rice in the NACSA building as we were having the discussion. As the war amputees were going there, they themselves verified the bags of rice, but the bags of rice were not distributed to the war victims. So she held a meeting with the War Amputee Association. A group of 4 executives went to her office, and she promised them from May. We had this meeting around about April, May. She said between May and June, they're considering to receive several millions from World Bank, and they will make provisions on a monthly basis for the war victims. And so we held our peace because we wanted to give the government of Sierra Leone and the NACSA themselves, because NACSA has, since time immemorial, have had a bad stench or, have not done well when it comes to people with disabilities. Monies have been misappropriated. So I said to her, this is an opportunity for NACSA to redeem themselves. This is an opportunity for the SLPP to redeem themselves, considering that SLPP was in government when the war happened and when all the TRC was written and not much was done in the previous SLPP government. We were hoping that restitution will be done at this particular time. And so she said, give us time. NACSA went around, took pictures. So what I would say is that as a result of our intervention, they, towards I believe there was a second lockdown that was coming. And so she said to me that we're going to try and get war amputees and provide them with some help. When the amputees, so we were able to mobilize the war amputees at the war amputee camp, their office at Aberdeen, about 100 and something of them, and they gave them 250,000 leones, which is $25. And this is peanuts compared to what was given across the board to all people with disabilities all over the country, where they got a bag of rice, Veronica bucket, antibacterial soap, and the 250,000. And so, but I mean, beggars don't have choice. These people are impoverished. So they took that and they said, okay, well, we hope to hear, considering you said you'll be making from the World Bank provision, you'll be making monthly subvention. We will accept this for the sake of peace and continuation of a relationship and hopefully help that would reach them. To this date, as I speak with you, not one penny. I've tried to reach Regina Safar several times. The amputee executives have tried to go back to her. They've gone and done all the different registration. She herself went to Koidu, which is, I think, Kabbalah area. They did some distribution there. One of the things I also have to say, you may have heard in the news that many people who were given, people with disabilities that were given the monies, there were officials going at the back saying, when we give on this 250, when I get for give we know because we don't have help you. So really and truly, even the officials that were used to disburse these provisions were unscrupulous. You know, unscrupulous, had no scruples, dealing with people who have nothing. So we are at a time, you know, and as much as maybe because I don't know what's on the table of the president of Sierra Leone, he may be considering helping them, but as at now, Sierra Leone, the government of Sierra Leone, the president of Sierra Leone has failed the war victims woefully, COVID or no COVID.
Okay, so as we go down now and the try for wrap up, I want for make we go inside Creole. Even if I read the question inside English, I want make we answer inside Creole because I want for make it go to the one them where it's supposed for go to and the one them where also involve make it go to them. I want for make it go all side. Okay, so I continue for it. I have directed the Ministry of Social Welfare to fully study the root causes and pattern of street begging amongst persons with disabilities and to develop a comprehensive strategy to tackle the issue. We believe that through skills training, financial inclusion, and economic empowerment programs, those citizens can earn dignified and sustainable income. Okay, we will undertake public communication campaign to urge Sierra Leoneans to recognize and uphold the rights of persons with disability, and that right also includes treating them as human beings, treating them in a dignified manner. We will adopt a multi-sectorial approach to mainstreaming disability rights and concern in government programs and services. We will also work with the private sector. Together, we should work to identify and dismantle all structural and cultural barriers that deter persons with disabilities from actualizing their full potential. I want to go to together we should work to dismantle all structural and cultural barriers that deter persons with disability from actualizing their full potential. That is a true statement, but is that what is reflective of our structures in Sierra Leone? Dande nine with the scene we structure them. I want for make the government show me how many persons with disability they employ within Sierra Leone. How many persons with disability they're part of the cabinet right now, the ministerial cabinet. How many persons with disability they're part, and I know say disability is not always visible, but it will be good for make we get that number there. So waiting now you advise even to the current government, as then they talk this, waiting will be your advice to them for make them make sure say then live up to the word, even as a governing structure right now. Our Natu.
Thank you, Matilda. First of all, I believe say the government therefore go back and try for understand the terminology, the definition of disability. Because some people in feel say when somebody gets a disability, it means say they mind everything don't go. And also when they talk about the word amputees added to, because it look like then separates them. But me not a mother of a person with disability. And Usai Ade, you go see teacher we get disability. You go see a cashier clerk we get disability. Believe me, some people and they when are your boss, then get disability. But then they not stop them for be able for, you know, how you go say, for where then they and show themselves out now they field them where they sabi. Look, what we give for example, the one that we get where they cut the hand them or foot we cannot oversee or other them, you know, well-to-do countries that wouldn't take care of the disabled. Then people they had a land for cook, then sabi makeup. They even get another young titi where they play ball. And I think said that picking they during the war, I don't know if name Tijan Kababi they pass with. I don't know, but in get a story because now the war itself in an a loss. But that picking they adopt anaya. That picking they play ball. If they play ball, not even one way they explain what he happened self doing the war. He said because it can torment him. He said because then he can look say then they try for limit me. So people that will get disability, they're not limited. If they provide skills for them, then get different skills. Some can be teacher. When they remember say, now we'll come back to the war amputees, then we'll go back to a whole as disability. Let's say this war amputees there so. Then we don't get work there with them they do. Some them be skilled, like for example, gara, tie dyeing, sewing. Then still get their knowledge in it. Even if they're not able to use their hand them or their foot them, but they're able to sell that knowledge there to other people them. They're able to encourage other people, they're able to train other people them. So somebody can then inside wheelchair, somebody can then have crutches, enough for limit them at all. Enough for say because of wheelchair, so I for look down per them. No, maybe that person in a wheelchair, if they teach you teacher. Maybe that person na coach, if they teach you teacher. It can be even be advisor to the president because it don't go through things that it get another perspective for bring in. There are lots of perspective that if we look no more for the able body for doing, we'll not go touch on. A person with disability can able even be advocate for the other people the way that disabled people. But this is what they can do. They can always bubble them. They can always one with them people they come to them say, hey bra, hey boss, enough for be so. Where they self, where they use themselves in their own qualification, where people, the able-bodied people, and go meet them too and say, yes, sir, yes, brah, then go feel dignified. But when we look at the moment, we don't see the physical disability of somebody. We don't totally analyze that person. They say, you know, sabi nothing. Now the wrong than the way they do na Salone. So now I make us say the government got to go back and read the definition. What it mean for call somebody a person with disability. It not means say this person also don't bata na society. It just means say then get a certain limitation. We go limit them past some things, not to all things. We all dey na so. We dey see people the way get I don't forget the definition of this sickness, but then they all now wheelchair, but then they use the eye for communicate with the computer. Then they move with the wheelchair. They know how for older wheelchair, they move around. Then they even go and give their own idea in things, in organization. We welcome, this other society of people. What we welcome them, what we build ramps for them so that wheelchair go pass. Not even if you go build tall building, hey, kudos to that. But if the person in foot caught or the person in foot die, so why way it drag himself or somebody total is shameful. Ramps, you don't even need for build a permanent ramp. Build, they get welders then a salon. Train them, show them how for building foldable ramps them. When you know say somebody like that they come, you na pull another, you na lay for her. It person go feel good about himself. Fend them promote them, they're strong. Railing them, where person go able pull himself up, he go able move himself. Not to all things really possible get disability while when you help them, they can feel shame. But if you now make the access there for them, believe me, the country go a long way because we they even miss out, but then people they are the intelligent.
Indeed, we dey miss out on them people and also the intelligent. Make we remember one of the presidents of the United States, Franklin Roosevelt. Make we not forget saying as somebody we been in a wheelchair and we been the use wheelchair and as somebody we due to the disease polio where it been get. So yes, even in that state. It gets the mental faculty, it gets them, provide them with the enabling environment. And guess what? It's done at the highest office of the country what they call the Great United States. So make we not look down on with disability, disabled people them. The one last paragraph what they can read for wrap up is we call on persons with disability to denounce violence and use peaceful grievance redress mechanism to resolve conflict. We urge them to take advantage of and own opportunities created by government and development partners. Well, you see, the only way they can own and take advantage of these opportunities is if these opportunities are there in the first place, and if they are recognized as being the beneficiaries or users of these opportunities. So the funny thing where me see on this speech is, yes, persons in disability now one big word. But when we come out in a society, we don't go through something like a civil war, a civil strife, we don't go through that kind of war day. And when we know for say, the majority of we people them with disabilities, they do not have disabilities because they were born with disabilities, but disabilities were inflicted on them. It's kind of jarring that in an entire 5-page statement, no mention was made about them. Kind of jarring. Pastor Faith, we all wear purple. What do you make we wear purple? And for what reason?
Okay, so thank you so much, Matilda. So we all wear purple because in this month of December, we do a campaign called Color Purple Challenge, where we ask we Sierra Leonean brothers and sisters and friends of Sierra Leone for me to wear purple. They make a donation. I don't know if then they show the donation links them where we get
all the links now. Then they up, yes.
Okay, so people can able donate via Facebook, via PayPal. The one where they America can able use Zelle, then go able use Cash App, then we use them bank. We get bank accounts, Bank of America account, and a UK bank account. And what way they say, make a donation, be a royal. Purple is a royal color. Now that's kings and queens we were in the past. So become a royal, be a royal to help a royal. And also challenge 10 people. So we ask for making snowball. Now the essence of doing that, you will say, why we did one? I don't know if we get pictures them of the war amputees. We actually get the man, Mr. Tambafino, we be then at the video, we talk about, where they towards the end, we talk extensively when our coordinator, and swell back just few recently. And no access. Government of Sierra Leone get a Disability Act where say they provide all people with disabilities for get free Medicare. Well, this is just in paper. It's not been implemented. This year, and I don't see many times with all right, but how many amputees don't die, Uda don't die. It's very painful for me with the loss of war amputees there, and there's a high mortality rate amongst them. So we're at a race against time for make we save them. Unfortunately, Sierra Leone has not made any provisions for these their citizens with a disability, as the government say in a last paragraph where right, as citizens of disability, these segments of the people, citizens of disability, do not have any free healthcare. So they're dying like flies, unfortunately. High mortality rates amongst them. The TRC, the Truth and Reconciliation recommendation, we say they forget free quality, free Medicare and other forms of amenities like welfare and other things that they provide for them, for give them a life of dignity. SLPP, the previous one, has not upheld it. APC has not upheld it. This current SLPP has not upheld it. And so we're asking for them to come on board. President Madabio, I am asking you, the last time I saw you, I was on AYV advocating before you win the elections in 2017, where I go pay school fee for over 300 Pikinde. You know, Melkosh has been time immemorial talking before APC, so this is not at you. We are asking, leave a lasting legacy for make you change the plight of the war victims. You have the money, your government has the money. Monies have been made for people with disabilities. Why are they not reaching people, the war amputees? World Bank don't give money. May we not can watch with that Leone and say, Salone the old money. We talk about Ebola gate. If care is not taken, another Corona gate scandal will come out. Because if we not get money, they will not use them for the war amputees, and they will not they launch every day on the launch. You people are going to be called to task. And I'm asking the president of Sierra Leone to handle this, because we're at a time when people are no longer keeping quiet. If Sierra Leone does not take care of the war victims, I will take Sierra Leone to court. And because they're not uphold the international human rights for war victims then. I know they talk about other people with disabilities. I'm talking about the people I know that I've worked with 12 years, that I've given my government job role. I sacrificed that job to work for them full time. Wait till we spend this year, and I was mayor $30,000 for provide bags of rice, all empty. You have it 10 times over in the government kitty. Use it for the people. Use it for the people. All of this is big hogwash talking about, say, we get the money, we have done this, we have done. Yes, it is good, but it is so easy. If it's a small charity like Melkosh can do this, it's a big shame for the government of Sierra Leone that they cannot do this. We complain, say, Ebola, and APC use Ebola money, they tip money. It is the same thing SLPP will be accused of if you not come on board. I rest my case.
Okay. I go to Awanatu. The purple lipstick is there. Waiting at your last word to fumble them today.
Okay. This I get on my heart for talk to the people the way they watch. And also some them go say, but now one can't talk. The reason we make now we one can't talk now because where we not be talk before, we do wrong. We will not be old and responsible before, we do wrong. If we say we go continue for set remote because the first one we will not talk, we not go ever correct a mistake. They say we motaman for done, you get another chance for grab. But when you decide for sit down day, now there you don't lose. So we can now for talk. Yes, maybe we make mistake, we not challenge the first one them. But nothing, there is no bias in this wire so. We decide now, so we do the right thing. Meaning, we talk by this government. If other governments come after now, we grab back and talk because now we eye don't open. Now we S don't open. Now we don't decide, so we need a set remote again. All that bio before, what would they say? Okay, well, we go manage, we'll tell the people that we manage, and would they see almost people that we don't die. Would they see that then people are still not being recognized in our society now because we silence. And when you silence, you are such an accomplice to the way they do the wrong. So if you see them people there, so then they become suffocated. You tinap and fall your hand they watch. You self, you put your hand there for suffocate. So now make now we self go tinap. So you know where they watch, I beg. What you now all decided for raise voice for them with people of disability, including the war amputees, the war rape victims, the war widows, the war orphan, all the war wounded. All these people are included in that definition. So what we all raise with voice. If you see somebody they suffer, when them they don't cutting and you know say this not to by himself a mina, not to him go thief for them cutting and a rebel and they can't cut and if you see the suffer, you see anybody see you they call bra, yes sir. When you know say you get chance to bring their attention. Say Sam, now you not then at the government, then people here they suffer. What will we go do? And by the way, then kind people here where you not take care of them, you not government they look even good. So this not to for bring anybody down. This we the fight for we own and we own there now the Melkash Mission charity. So
okay.
Bless them, my people.
Thank you very much, Pastor Faith. Waiting on your last word.
Okay, so they call me brother them. Few days ago, and brother and sister them. Few days ago, we celebrate the International Human Rights, and Eleanor Roosevelt talk about citizen cohesion. That if we come together, citizen action. You know how the human rights starts. Now people can come together and say we want to make a change. You talk about the former president that was a person with a disability. We can be the change. So every donation, no matter how big, small, be it £5, $5, you go see we go. If you go now, we page Melkosh Mission. You go type or see we donation link there, or you go see the scroll. Give for make we able for help the amputees them. We go Salone very soon. For me, we go do the annual war Medicare. We don't do this. We start in 2012. Now we start my mama a doctor. Then start the initiative. But for me, we able to get people the way they travel with we from different parts of the country. Go Salone. We go do projects them every year. We start this properly 2016. So this will be our 5th annual year where we go talk. Help women buy the medicine. Them last year we go with $10,000 worth of medicines. This year we want double the scope of people that way they reach because the need is so great. What would they do is just a pinch of people and compared to the entire amputees that we did nationwide. So we'd ask people the way they watch, the listeners, wanna join hands with we. The link then they please every little helps. Nothing say because I give £5, you know, do it go make difference. It go buy that plastic bag, so go put that medicine. It go help for me to buy small thing, Panadol, painkiller. And I want to say we project very polarized in terms of the medical project what they do, not just for go give malaria tablet, everything from high blood pressure to diabetic check to anti-malarial. We they do all anything and then we they treat all forms of sickness with the medicines where they go with. The only thing we know they do now operation. Help women we elongate them people there their life. And we could have been with brother, with sister, they okay, could have been we. Thank God we not me then a song during the war. Some been there, how not to say we then the tongue now war. Some of we don't come, we don't know what happen at all. Help we for make we help them prepare. The only change we can able for the only way we can see change now, where we be part of the change. We go complain, say government not they do anything, but government and they watch, then they see. That we no need for men and give we award or recognition or add we name, say, part of Melkosh, say, then say then they part of this. No, God where they in heaven, it is see the thousands of lives who we don't help in these 12 years. And that's all that matters. I want to tell Matilda Tenki in Team Tenki, all the VOS Team Tenki for making always use on a platform for be a voice for the voiceless. Thank you. So everybody will ask once again this Color Purple campaign if you see even if we not challenge you now, come on board. Even if you not wear purple, you can still donate. Una donation will become purple, it will become royal for the amputees. Now the word that I wish you now a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. God bless you now.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much. If even Seth, you know where the color purple, once you bring you substance, You bring that McDonald's money, sacrifice that Starbucks, 1 cup Starbucks, sacrifice that one McDonald's meal, that one Timothy meal, that one A&W meal. I don't even know them. Me not eat fast food, so I don't know them. You know them. You know where you go and where you spend those $10, those $20. Please, just once, just sacrifices, just one day, and keep the money inside the Kotoku. The Melkosh donation link dumping. We get the link them, they roll all throughout. If you in any doubt, just go, you click on Melkosh Mission International. It will take you directly na the website. It will take you directly na the Facebook and make a donation day. Now, the president in final speech, he said, we are determined to build an inclusive nation where all persons are empowered and supported to be all they can be and contribute their fair share to our nation's development. Yes, indeed, that is good in writing. But now we need for say, waiting with the put in writing, make we put them in application. That is very important. I am sitting here with my purple, and yes, I will make my donation and I will have the link out. But even as we go to the other segment, I was very deliberate in my statement this year, because when we do the 16 days of advocacy, I was very deliberate in the statement I wrote, because my statement cut across anything whatsoever, any international rights, disability, human rights, you name it. My statement cut across. And this is what I had to say. In my words, I said the fight is not for those with strength. It is for those who acknowledge the endowed dignity of every life. Acknowledge the endowed dignity of each war amputees, every war wounded, every war raped, every war orphan, every war widow, every person with disability, every human being, period. I tell me two guests them boku thank you, even as I segue to another part of the program. I tell you a good night, and we go meet again. They bring in Mr. Bassi Kamara. Mr. Bassi Kamara, as you say, you wear purple, which is even befitting. So I expect a donation from you. We go come out directly, and where you go tell me, say, Matilda, I don't omojuba to you for this purple campaign for we war amputees them. So I bring in Mr. Bassi Kamara, make Mr. Bassi Kamara can tell you a little bit about himself. What he make it they aspire for run for be nominated as a flag bearer within the APC party, and why he see himself or envision himself as a future leader of Sierra Leone. Mr. Bassi Kamara, over to you. Welcome, and tell Fambul Deadu.
Thank you very much.
And of course, say we can control technology as much as we want, but sometimes technology fights back. So like I've been they say, we move on to the other segment of the program. Today we get two programs. The first one, obviously, we've been to talk about the war amputees continue to face inequalities in Sierra Leone. And now we move on to who is Bassi Kamara and what's next in his journey to a possible presidency? That's what we are going to be discussing right now. So Mr. Bassi Kamara, tell Fambuleado.
Them, this na Bassi Kamara, una pikin, una brother, una uncle, una friend, or relative. I didn't also today for explain to una the reason to make at the contest for the flag bearership of the All People's Congress Party, and why it deemed me fit say na me na the person who will be able to deliver that country day, and we go ensure say and provide all the necessities them with people. Then they cry over when people they don't see themselves say there is no hope in any shape or form. But yes, still there is a young man who gets the impetus we will take that country to the next level. So I want to tell you I do, and I want to stay tuned, more listen carefully, waiting again for can explain why I believe I mean are the most appropriate person wait for all the next battle or baton for that country.
Okay, Mr. Bassi Kamara, in 3 minutes, take people through your trajectory. And when I say trajectory, I want to make you talk to the Sierra Leonean people tell them from that small bobo, that small baby we been born na in mama and take it on to bobo, take it on to boy, take it on to man. What was that like? Walk them through that journey in 3 minutes and how we get to the Bassi at university. That's where I want us to end it.
Thank you very much. And this is very powerful. And I'm so happy when you bring this kind of question. Bassi na an ordinary community young man. And it come more from a humble background where he understand both suffering and he understand comfort. And I mean, the only one we get for decipher in between. Well, I born now Wilberforce Barracks. Now a place where many people they can consider say a deplorable. When you think about decency and things them we go make you shoot up in life, people and recognize you. Most people not can consider Wilberforce area as any place where not a place of beneficiary. Well, Bassi Kamara been born 1974 to a military soldier by the name of John Tamba Kamara. And my mama, they call her Nana Kago Ni Kamara. So they raised me up. I attend the Wilberforce Primary Municipal School. And there I continue and I proceed to the West African Methodist Collegiate Secondary School. Then I'm in Gafford change school when I attempt my first General Certificate of Education, what we call the GT. The reason was, I mean, all 11 years when my daddy been die. Then my mama, I mean, the only person where me they take care of with schooling. Anybody where they listen VOS will understand my nana. Before we eat, now taught with the taught, we get in blind where they go selling fana markets them. So that's maybe the taught. After school, I can go Fairwood and camp. So I mean, get for repeat, I mean, get for sit the GC twice, because the very first one, I mean, the last person, now the whole country, the record will tell you, we go pay me school fee, time no mean day, because they been drive me out, my mama no mean get her. I no mean get somebody, we go look at this young man to say, it gets a potential in the future, more we invest in him, and no mean day. So I mean, therefore, go receipts na services secondary school. Now they I make them up. I get early division 2, you know, and then I know me get chance also for continue for go do for way college. So what I do, I mean they teach because I mean so brilliant in accounting and their other subjects than they. So I mean they teach accounting. Now that I get small money. Now I get for sponsor myself for do a correspondence course at the United Kingdom. That is under the Institute of Commercial Management. Then later my auntie, where now Mrs. Dumbuya, the retired Brigadier MK Dumbuya, where now me the former ONS coordinator, and me get for come on board say this Bobo make a help. So that from there I'm able to get some few certificates them where I can get me advanced diploma in accounting and finance. That I'm my first step. But again, me that somebody where me they go Fenwood, the area where God bless me, also I build me house na Hill Station Malama, me they call it Bangbaila, and all the one on Salone, they know exactly what they talk about. Every day after school, because mom they sell cookery, they sell from the market for more to eat because we daddy die at an early age. So therefore, in one kilo we all be educated. But unfortunately, my siblings them, they're not be able for go school because of the kind of pressure women day. So they only concentrate on being that this young man gets the brain, now we all assist him. So that way they grab up that country. Me na somebody me they sell. I sell granates, I sell ogri, I sell maggi, I sell cola, I sell orange, then I sell gari. If you go to a place where they call Funkia, they know about this young man where they call Basi Kamara. One mommy did we don't all. I remember where I'm in the campaign the last time. I go ask for him, but me say me don't pass away. And me they call me Bobo Fania. So when it comes to the level of suffering, I understand from inception and how the ordinary man they feel. Even when you dress fine, you they talk fine. If you don't get anything, I understand because I have gone through those crucibles. I don't go through those ordeals, so on and so forth. How I able for make myself relevant and for see myself at university. Well, me not may struggle somebody, as I rightly say, I don't go through so many challenges in life, and people them they look at me and say, if only somebody go there, we go able for help this young man. This young man, he gets a future, he gets a potential. By the grace of God, God can bless me after me don't get that me advanced diploma in accounting and finance. I mean, therefore get my first job with my Netland Hospital. I work there as a junior accountant, but that not is sufficient. God can bless me, make I meet with a wonderful lady when I'm a wife, when they call her Anne-Marie Safi Bangura. You know, we mean they together. I mean, somehow discouraged because the environment where I mean the people may discourage and say, "Ain't not get nothing." Now somebody we no social, you know, they go club whatsoever. But he stand on the ground, say, "I see potential in him." So God may therefore can bless him. He cannot this part of the world. But when they cannot this part of the world, God may bless him. He make because we don't married and he travel with 36 weeks pregnancy. When he come, then the Bobo was very lucky. 3 weeks later, he born. Then 7 years later, he get for file for me. I joined in the United States of America. When I come, I decide for go school. So I go to the North NP Community College. I obtain my first degree, where they call it associate in accounting. Then from there, I'm the tutor at the college because I'm going to do extremely well in that capacity, and then they give me stipend for that. Then later, I continue at the Metropolitan State University. Now there, I do my bachelor's degree in accounting and minor in economics. And then later continue for do my master's. I get a master's degree in management information system and my concentration on information management. And also I decide for continue for get certification. So my first certification, now certificate in business analytics. Then I do a second certification when information security in IT technology. So after then, I become an adjunct professor now the DCTC, that is the Dakota County Technical College. immediately on my graduation day, because of, I graduated as an A student, one of the best results way at Pune University for the past 20 years. So the vice president of that particular college, therefore invite me, say they go want make I become an adjunct. So an adjunct, like say a junior lecturer. So at the lecture, now the DCTC, that is the Dakota County Technical College, and I thought it fits enough for me for move, along the step. So I decided say make I apply for my PhD, and successfully I apply. I don't start lectures, but the thing is I was chosen to be what they call the participant sponsor, because I'm a university for day in charge of all students who come. And every semester are supposed to be present. So currently I suspend that. Why? Because of, I know say I get this ambition for become president and for run for the flag bearership of the APC party. So I don't want to let that interrupt. So that suspend until the outcome of waiting at the go for 2021 in February. So far so good. This Nabasi Camara in educational background, and this Nabasi Camara, we're married, it gets 2 children, 1 boy and 1 daughter. So for now, make us stop here as we go further. Thank you.
Cotton Tree Pharmacy is your new trusted provider of pharmacy services in Sierra Leone. You can count on Cotton Tree Pharmacy for genuine quality brand name and generic medicines. Guaranteed refills for prescriptions issued by doctors in Sierra Leone or abroad. Door-to-door medication delivery service in Freetown and beyond. Free health education. Have you heard about our Diaspora Medicine Connect? With Cotton Tree Pharmacy's Diaspora Medicine Connect, anyone can pay for your prescription online. Bring your prescription to 17 Pademba Road. Collect an invoice. Send your invoice to your sponsor in the diaspora. Your sponsor pays for your prescription online. We deliver your medication to you. For quality prescription and medications, visit Cotton Tree Pharmacy at 17 Pademba Road in Freetown. Have questions? Call our pharmacist on WhatsApp at 030-611-664 or visit our website at www.cottontreemedicalgroup.com. Come to Cotton Tree Pharmacy. We are ready to fill your next prescription.
You can be my brother. You can be my friend. Have you been looking for a place to get quality education but don't know how or where? Canadian College of Modern Technology, situated at 1 Silicon Hills, Mile 91, opposite former Camp Charlie, is the right place for you. Canadian College of Modern Technology, an affiliate of Dala University, is a fully accredited college with a Tertiary Education Commission (TEC) and a National Commission for Technical, Vocational and Other Academic Awards (NCTVA). We provide world-class tertiary education in computer science, business administration, mass communication, business information technology, Microsoft Microsoft Server Administration, Networking, Database Administration, Building and Construction, and other professional courses. Apart from its conducive environment, which makes it suitable for learning, Canadian College of Modern Technology is proud of its experienced local and international staffs. Come and experience the transformational learning environment, fully equipped with CCTV cameras, a world-class electronic library with the latest iMac computers for collaborative learning and research, and access to high-speed internet service throughout the campus. And guess what? Canadian College of Modern Technology is the first college in Sierra Leone to operate the first educational purpose-only television and radio station for its mass communication students. Come and be part of this historic experience. We have reserved a space for you. You want to know more? CCMC provides 24 hours electricity from a solar harvest power supply system with a backup generator. This highly secure campus also have a canteen, student hostels with clean.
Okay, so me people we don't come back. Sorry about that. Again, it look like say technology one fit with today, but we not go green. So una don't hear but Mr. Bassi in small one, how we grew up now Wilberforce, you know, how we attend school and how he manage, and how at the age of 11 he lost in daddy, and then they be make, you know, some small yagbaka inside, and then he found himself now a single parent family home. But tell God thank you for the side where we come out. They say it takes a village, it takes a community. So even though in Papa No Day the village stepped in and the village did what they needed to do. So now we fast forward to this person now where we know as the accountant, as you know, the financier, as the economist and whatnot. So few years back, this economist so can put on politics. And then he been the aspire for be the flag bearer of a particular party, the APC party. Mr. Bassi, why the APC party and why not any other political party?
Thank you very much for that robust question. The APC gets a philosophy, and that philosophy I believe on. It says country before self. Country before self. And all the time them way I'm in the campaign doing the 2017 flag bearer, you know, competition. Now that's they put across where let everybody stand on that word. That when you put your country first, then it means you don't become a selfless person. When you go through my career from school, from primary school, say up to Usadom find me say, one, I'm the president for Sierra Leone Scripture Union at the whole country. And two, when you look at my testimonial, now both schools are good. The first one say, Bassi is an industrious people, possesses leadership quality. And when you look at what he has stand for and what he I believe, it resonates with the policy and the ideology as well as the philosophy of the APC party, irrespective of the region where I come here. Then two, the APC party is a party where always the Ghana around the masses, the ordinary people, the grassroots. That's not the honors, and that's not the motto where always get sympathy for ensure for uplift them people and they bring them come to the standard where they say will realize their future and their destiny. And mind you, if you take into consideration the way myself come up, the pains I go through, the difficulties that I encounter in a society, the fellow say it resonates with waiting that the belief system of this party. And when I look at myself, in an humble beginning and the way I navigate throughout life, even when I'm in the come up, now my church, now Salone, we get what we call Holy Ghost Redemption Church, but the church in Leone changed to only full gospel evangelistic ministry. Now Lombly Road, number 24, Lombly Road, Wilberforce. The pastor na Abiose Colin Pratt. So me na me the chairman for the finances. And me na me the director for all projects. And me na a deacon and a teach Sunday school. The same thing I do also now in the United States of America. So my humble beginning, it bring me very closer to the kind of belief system where I look forward to, that make I associate myself and endorse the All People's Congress Party, because when I come with the kind of passion, with the kind of love, and the kind of pain when the people and they go through, I believe say I can able for step in, uplift them, and for make them dream and then destiny become a reality.
Okay, Mr. Bassey, you said the APC party say country before self.
Yes.
So with waiting we don't see, has the APC party always demonstrated country before self?
Thank you. You see, we are humans and we have challenges. And if we look in terms of perfection, me as a Christian, that's what the Bible told me. It tells me, say, we first strive to perfection. But I want to make you know, say, along the way, there are mistakes. And in those mistakes, you go get for look beyond and see the area them where you fall short, and you correct them as you strive further. But one thing we know, if we look at the holistic picture, right, we look at the good and the bad, or the challenges, against the advantages or the disadvantages, you can look at it. Waiting the APC portray and waiting then say, then they do based on the philosophy, country before self. If they find out say, every now and then we they strive to reach and achieve that particular purpose. In the previous APC, under the one party APC build a lot of infrastructure. They bring a lot of development all over the country. It's not one section, it's not one region, but it become a diversity, a multi-tribal diversity within among the 16 tribes. Everybody gets a quota. So in that perspective, you find out say APC made the land until the NPLC get for take we out of power, and then we not come until 2007. We learned from the previous mistake, and we find out say the person will come now a very new person, clean in terms of politics, may ever participated just as me, and then we see say it bring the country into one in the area outside the previous government under the Tijan Kaba-led government means stop. Income, it diversify, it bring all inclusive, and it ensures say national development it there all over the country. You go na Kailan, you go Siam. You go na Bo, you go Siam. You go na Kenema, you go Siam. You go na Bombali, you go Siam. You go na Potloko, you go Siam. And at best, Frito, you go see the handwork of the All People's Congress Party. So in that perspective,
okay, Mr. Bass, make a holiday, because beaucoup people then go say what you they talk, so you they talk and from your own perspective. That's not to dande then see and not to dande then feel. As a matter of fact, beaucoup people then go tell you say under the APC, the former regime, under the one party system, a lot of people then suffer. A lot of people them, were silenced. A lot of people them were deprived. That it was only not only certain people them being get advantage, and not only certain people them being benefit. That the masses where they talk about say benefits, as a matter of fact, then suffer a great loss and then suffer a great deal, and that's them people them no advance and grow in the way where they're supposed to grow, because make we not forget now under that regime there a lot of waiting the colonial people them been done established and left where we for carry on. Now under that regime they a lot of their infrastructures then they broke down. Now under that regime they a lot of the depletion happened. So when you talk about APC develop, APC bring together, APC galvanize, APC there for the grassroots people them. Name me 2-3 key examples them where we can use for sure for demonstrate that, because a lot of people go disagree with what they talk right now.
Matilda, you see, the point that we they bring on board is the point where they create eye-opener for the one the way they continue for disbelief or unbelief, the things them way APC don't do that are contrary. Now we go back from the one-party system. Look the National Stadium where they call Ishaka Stevens Stadium, but APC Bila. Look Aberdeen Bridge, that now a part of infrastructure also, that APC Bila. Look Cochrane headquarter, where they are the north. Now APC, now Mbila. Look police headquarter. Now Uda Brand come on board. Now APC, now Brand come. Look the Bundumbu Teachers College, where the rebel be born whatsoever. Now Uda bring that. Now the APC, now Brand come again under the reign of Anis Kuruma in 2007 and then to 2018. Look the general infrastructural development. I don't know how long you don't get. Since I don't come to America, I don't go to Sierra Leone 6 times. This can be 7 times. I was there last December. If you see the infrastructures in terms of road construction and development, now Uda Brankam, now the APC, now in Brankam.
There's a distraction. There's some distraction going on in your background. I don't know if you want to take care of it.
Get inside, please. Inside. Go inside. I said inside. Go inside. Go. I'm coming. Sorry.
Okay. Go ahead.
So when you look at that, look at all the developments them way the country bring on board. Then it comes to the area of job opportunity. You find out, say, we get London mining. Now, under the APC, we get all them things. Then we get the African minerals. We get the GL mining. You know, APC create job opportunity for all and sundry, where we now select, but we ensure, say, we do that for national development. In other words, multi-cultural or multi-tribal diversity take place. Now, Sierra Leone, all and sundry participated. One of the greatest example where you go believe, say, APC do well in the previous regime, irrespective of waiting people in the top. This is a demonstration on the people them, whenever they decide, say, then they call the former president for make a visit Freetown. Either if they go on visit or they go for go answer question, the multitude. And the Bible tells me, say, when you get a righteous leader, the people rejoice. But if you get a wicked leader, the people groan. So you go judge now, let the people then judge. Why make any time Anis Kuruma as a former APC leader and president, it come out, everybody they jubilate. Now, because of the people that actually, you know, recognize in good works and the way how he lead the APC party. Most of the other things that we talk about, you know, na propaganda, we know what's in our politics, how to make you look bad. But
okay. Yep. Okay, Mr. Bassi, you said that under the APC that, you know, jobs were created, you know, empowerment, as you call them, multi, you know, ethnic or multi-tribal inclusion. That's what you call it, multi-tribal inclusion under the APC party. You say jobs them in there, you name a lot of mineral mining companies them and whatnot, but we also see, say, the mineral mining companies then they were sold for peanuts, and that the mining rights were given for peanuts. So, and that the people them, when are the land then they use for mine, when are they the resources then they come out, they have not really benefited from the untapped resources them where they come out underneath the ground. We also see, say, inside the same regime, even though they talk about massive employment job opportunities, the job percentage, the unemployment percentage never shifted from 70% unemployment in the young population. So how do you explain such multi-tribal inclusion into the cake, into the cup? And how do you explain such expansion, economic expansion and inclusion, and yet still the youth population never moved an inch. The needle never moved, never shifted from the 70% unemployment. How do you explain that? If indeed the party was so all-inclusive, all thriving, and all for the benefit and development of others?
It was 68.8% unemployment. Women get about 32 point something or 31 point something employment, including the private sector and the government under the reign of Ernest Bai Koroma. One thing where we not forget is that we for not see we get for no waiting at economic development and economic growth, right? Women get the best economy before the Ebola, where we economy may grow at a rate of 20% GDP yearly. Unfortunately, we get a disruption we come back to -4. But during that time, before, we became the fastest growing economy in the world, the whole world. And then we get the best human rights record, because you talk about them, the rich people, the whatever. We get the best human rights record at the whole of Africa, and we are rated 3rd in the whole world. We not forget 10 things today. All day in the records. This is not Basikana. This is something where then at the record where the international community really understand and they notice. Now, when it comes to the job opportunity and job expansion, I talk about economic growth and economic development. What do they see growth in an exponential, level where we see this growth where we come. The economic development really take place, but the human capital, honestly speaking, will not be able for achieve 100%. But in a structural gains, we see the level of development, we see the diversity will take place. Now, most of the money what we get, if people say, hey, this happen whatsoever, that money then they be able to allocate them in infrastructural development. I make you see a lot of roads all over the places. You see hospitals there. When the former president built a lot of hospitals, this government will come on board now. They try for commission. They recently commissioned one that the Kiama Road. Another one day where I know of now Regents Road and Lumley. A lot of them where they build because we believe in infrastructural development. We get a face.
Yeah, but of course you believe. Let me stop you, David. Yeah, I'll let you land. I'll let you down. Yes, you believe in infrastructural development, and government is continuity.
Yes.
I hope you keep that in perspective. I go follow up. Carry on.
Good. So in that perspective, now there basically for come on board. We understand the fundamentals of economic development and how resources should be allocated in different facets. Look, I want the people of Sierra Leone understand, as a young man, if the United States of America recognize a young man that came from nowhere, came from a little place that is not much recognized, and then establish him, then I believe say Sierra Leone, the way I understand the fundamentals, I can able to take Sierra Leone to the level where we bring some kind of relief and people that realize their destiny. Now, when you look at what the APC do, we get from manifesto, you get the general manifesto. From there, with the leapfrog, where they come with your own strategy and policy for implemental. Now, me they look on what we call the large-scale commercial farming. And in that large-scale commercial farming, the kind of strategies them when they use for ensure say I create the kind of job opportunity for the people of Sierra Leone. Now, one way where I try for leverage the entire resources of the country, where I get the ability, I have the technical know-how, I get the skills, and use them as a receivables. We're going to be with deliverables, and they sell them now the international community as a bond. And then I can ask for something like $5-6 billion, because Sierra Leone is what than that. The measure we say we strength of the economy is about 4 billion, but it goes beyond that. That the GDP is one factor, and Africa can talk much about economics now. So, but Sierra Leone is worth more than 20 billion. So I can able to get $5-6 billion up front. It's not a sweet talk. I can explain how they get them. And they get them the up front and then able for utilize them in the area of light. For we get sustainable light throughout the country. We get water, sustainable water, clean, safe and drinking water, good health facility. We're able for feed reserve, feed the sub-region, then we're able for export by the international community. I get a blueprint on that, and another blueprint that I will get for explain to the people of Sierra Leone. I forgot. Look, Matilda, now me solve the problem now under the Medtronics. Then get what they call the LG catheter. You know, somebody sick. When they take the catheter, we know who they can put up the human being. The formula for get the calibration. This is the basic camera. And from that perspective, they where they appoint basic camera for be the manager in that department. If I were a white man, so I don't become a millionaire. But that are the compensation. I'm a problem solver. If you go to Sierra Leone, they know I'm a problem solver.
Okay, Basi. Okay, you say you're not a problem solver, and you talk about the expansion and economic growth, and the growth way, Sierra Leone see during the last APC regime. But you see, you can only talk about growth if growth is sustained. You can only talk about growth if that growth was felt, if it trickled down to the very least of the population. But waiting with the see, and also waiting the statistic and analysis show us, evidence-based, is that growth did not trickle down to the least of the population. That growth, as a matter of fact, we go from $1 to less than $1. Okay? So if we talk about all these expansions and all of these realization, waiting go make the expansion there. So what talking about? Waiting go make all the realizations there actually be seen as actual gains. Now, when the people then life begin change, when the people then life expectancy begin increase, when the people then begin afford from 0 meal to 2 meals a day, and when the people then instead of when they eat mina, then begin eat kuta, then begin eat mackerel, not then begin eat skinny, the one that when they eat skinny and mackerel, then begin eat scooter, then begin eat remember all the big fish them, then name them again. But you get the point of what I'm trying to say. Yes. That is when you know that a nation is thriving. That is when you know that wealth is trickling down. That is when you know that wealth not a behold for the 1% of the 1% of the 1% within the population, whereas the 99% of the 99% of the 99% keep suffering, and that snowball effect. Now you talk about a lot of development activities that wait to take place during the APC regime. And that is why I stopped you right in the middle to say, remember, government is continuity. And there are a lot of people who would say the APC was able to materialize these expansions and this development because it's cascaded from waiting the previous outgoing government we don't already put in place. They may not already put in place policies, them plans, them. They may not already get to some extent some budgetary support or grants them for roll out some of them program. So waiting the population witness. As a matter of fact, Nabi already plans them where been done day in the works, where the new governments come, it take over and roll over as how government's supposed to work. And now you see the same day happen with this current regime. Plans them where the past regime, some of the plans them where the past regime been done put in the pipeline, just like you say, the hospital at what is it, Kinyama Road or whatever, the hospital at Lumley. Those are plans that were, or projects that were already in the pipeline in the books of the past governments, and now those current governments don't take them on, and then they continue. But because obviously they are in the seats of power, the credit is going to be given to them, just like where in the past governments the credit was given to them even though the starting phase did not emanate from them, but the implementation phase was done by them. That is what you call government with continuity. So when we talk about the realizations of or the achievement of the past government, I think it is also good to say this is where you see government as continuity at play, working right. So what in me want for ask you right now is that okay, you divide for this flag bearership position. Okay, you don't do a lot of great things there and whatnot. Why go into the flag bearership? Because these are things that you can realize for the country without necessarily, being part of the political fold. So if you get all them great ideas there, so why make you not be put them forward in the last regime for the party that you support, because it would have augmented them, it would have boosted, their feasibility, their visibility, and why make bring their ideas there so to the table and say, as a party member, as someone who is dedicated to the motto of country before self, this is what I think we should do for our people. How do we go about implementing it? Why hold on to it and use it as a manifesto, quote unquote, for a political leverage or for political visibility?
Thank you. You said a lot, and let me make a point of correction here. Right. If you look first on the party level, that will take you on to national level. And me, as somebody with a down-to-earth person, everybody will stay with me from inception where born and up to now. Then will tell you, say, even though they talk, if they will tell you, go let come more than the way you see them. Now, under the APC, I believe, say, apart from the former president, nobody, not they were committed and responsible, right, on all the subscription and the contribution they give. I joined the APC 1996. I was a very young man. I think I was 22 years old at that time. Now I joined as an ordinary member. In 2007, I became the honorary foundation member, where qualify me for run for president in any position, flag bearership or president, any position at the party. From that time, my contribution, nobody, I know if you call name, with all the names where they vow, nobody, I am number one, and I am second to none. My subscription, they pay me subscription, me monthly dues and everything. In fact, I don't pay until next year March. Me subscription. Then also, I not ever participate in politics before. Neither me parents them. But I don't give a lot of donations to APC. In fact, the current election will take place tomorrow. Now they will donate 10 million leones for that election. And even for renovate the party office for painter, I donate another 10 million. When I'm in Dede, last December, I donate because the party will go outing. Now, Bure Beach, I donate food items and other condiments then, were up to 10 million. So I have done a lot where me not get anything from the APC. So in other words, I don't help APC. Now this country where I dey, I'm just graduate from my bachelor's degree by then. When I get for do a presentation on blood diamond, now the university, Nayaso, that the North Anything Community College, where they get for invite the former former vice president of the United States, the late Walter Mondale, under the reign of Jimmy Carter. He can look me when I do that presentation day. Then when he go to office, now he writes a note to the president of the university, say he go for meet with me. When I meet with him, I take that honors, that advantage, and I tell him about Sierra Leone. They ask me also I say I want to make them help Sierra Leone on agriculture for build and feed research and the technology they within. Guess what? Then give me a man where they call William Ellis. Now me ain't fly go to Sierra Leone. With me own money, now we pay everything, hotel bill and everything. We not ask a single cent from anybody. So I don't do a lot for that country. And that paper, they na the table of Anes Baikoma, and Anes Baikoma make can categorically clear during the last convention when they locked in the room. He said the agriculture we go implement them what we don't, because by then now na election. So there is no way. When we win the election, obviously, but you cannot go anywhere. We all go get for seat now, so we implement them because this is your idea, this is your knowledge. I have done that on this current government. Make I tell you, the budget for the climate change. Now, Basi Kamara and designer, now $29.8 million. It don't go final a World Bank. Single-handedly, the man where now he gets that particular project that they call him Dr. Peter Toure in the UK. Now me he consults as the budgetary expert for designer for one whole country. So I have it in my hand. I'm not saying because I SLPP did a power. I do it because I love Sierra Leone. It final now the World Bank table. So until we don't get change of government in the United States, we believe in climate change, maybe they go disburse that money, 29.8 million. So now
okay.
So Adikam, just 1 more minute. So when you look into all these kind of things, Basi Kamara understand the fundamentals. Basi Kamara know say, they just come for can be leadership, whatever. The people then cry for somebody where the country not get it. They say they want somebody where not get political stain and not get political baggage. They want somebody with a fresh face. They want somebody where he able for offer something. As I said, the blueprint for the large-scale commercial farming, it is owned by Basi Kamara, who is going to implement it. And for ensure, say, in the first 1 year, I can categorically tell you, before God and man, we they employ 800 jobs. In the next 2 years, now 1,800 jobs total. Because, and in 18 months, we go begin for export because the technology, we just need something like 150 million. And 250 million for implement that. And I will get that money there with a come. As we go, I will explain you how are they able to get that money there and how for implement them. And for creating opportunity for lessen the burden, the suffering, and all them things that when they come down. You know, when you talk about trickle down economics, that's not all the facets and waiting for do and how for allocate and how for ensure say no money go outside, not all the so-called leakages and talk. I understand. I'm an information expert here, so I know what you for do. I come with what we call the big database system. Where yes.
Okay, Basi. Let's say you go for the flag bearership, you run, blah blah blah. Okay, let's say by chance you are not successful. Are you still going to implement this blueprint and say the current government call you say, Basi Kamara, your blueprints don't land now we are. Now we don't read them, we see saying as something we're good for Salone. Can work with make we develop this blueprints for Mama Salone. Will you do that or will you only do it under your name and under the APC?
You see, one thing, you bring a powerful question. And the question is very painful because when you believe yourself and you believe you're not the right person and this not the time, then a question like this, you shift, a question becomes shift. Then it's okay, don't defeat himself, say, now social position you look for. You understand? I know they look for no other position. I'm comfortable. I have a very good and a powerful job. And I'm sorry for the people of Sierra Leone because based on what come up, people don't for understand the pains and the reality on the ground, what the ordinary people will go for. I don't go through the thing. Now, for answer your question, this is not a democracy. Now we go through an election, not to select and they select anybody again. For saying they go somebody on, right? We can say voice popularly, voice day. We mean the voice of the people, the voice of God. That's a philosophical statement. I am praying before God and man. If you God say, Basi, no, I know they give you, so be it. As long as the election, people and votes, right? You cannot fight that. Then vote me, bravo. All my skills, all my knowledge, everything I go implement, it go be visible and everybody go see them. They not vote me again. I go feel them so badly because the reason why, that doesn't mean say I go revolt, that doesn't mean say I go rebel, that doesn't mean say I go come on an APC. No. But the reason is when you get something, when you believe say now you know the only person, because making because I can get this, I can say, all right, I know they run for president. You understand? I'm more than qualified for being minister whatsoever because of my technical expertise, my knowledge, my conceptual skill. I don't now offices then I are where 10 times more than a ministerial position of a manner. But what I try to say, when you get a vision, you get a vision and you know how this vision is supposed to go. You get to another person where go occupy in the capacity as the flag bearer later become president. It's painful because maybe you don't also what we mean. That person they mean. When one person at this, he go say no, ain't get your motive and ulterior. I am a selfless person. Lord, I give an example before you take me to another question. Now we look at Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, let me give this example, please.
No, just give me a second. You didn't evade my question.
Yeah.
My question was, if you lose flag bearership and the SLPP party call you say you blueprints don't land now we want to make you come, make we work together for implement this blueprint. Will you say yes or will you say no? This is not a yes or no question.
No, I'm not working with the SLPP government. Ask me why.
Go ahead.
Yes, I will not work with it. Is no malice. Now let me give you the reality. The large scale commercial farming. Nami offer them to the SLPP. As I talk to you, President Madabio, a dinner in table. I give a fraud. I know they work for them. I have a job. I'm receiving a monthly of $7,400 monthly combined. I get 3.2 something. Every this, then I'm a regular job. I get me small, like I'm a coca, they want to go do as consultants. You understand? I'm not saying the pay minister. 7,400 is not a boast. They want proof I can send a photo.
I want to know why they refuse for work with the SLPP government. Because at the end of the day, it's not about the government. Remember your motto, country before self.
Yes.
So for me, holding you to the party where you belong, a motto, country before self.
Yes.
It doesn't matter what fracas or what
let me handle the question.
If they call you for work for put country before self, why wouldn't you?
I will not, because the things them, I'm a decent guy. Matilda, you will get for know me more beyond this level. You understand? And see, are they into politics? When they do now a private investigation, they will grab up. Then go tell you, say, all what he talk about himself, now so it become me word na me born for what come up. You know, send this large scale commercial farming. They introduce them through Dr. Ali Kaba, where that the permanent representative in the United Nations. He taken a cabinet meeting on twice occasion. Do you know what President Madabio say? From waiting a gather from the person where in the channel. He said, well, we cannot forget say Basi Camara na APC and this the flagship program is. If we implement this thing, now we don't shoot, we safe now we foot. This I get out whether that's so His Excellency say or not, I don't know. But I get out of the post where I'm the lazy then get to.
So basically, you are saying that the notion of one country, one people, work for the green, white, and blue was tossed under the table, or was tossed under the carpet because the idea come up from the other camp.
Well, fine. I mean, we go categorize in that way because. Me not the part and parcel of the SLPP, right? And I not believe in the trends where the SLPP they take in at this moment. Maybe this not the strategy of President Madabio, you know, for gain popularity, maybe. But I not believe in his vision. I not believe in his policy. I not believe in his strategic objective. At all not. I don't make an offer, they refuse them. But like this one, no saying that nationally it go, it is outside politics, the climate change budget. I do nobody not pay me. That is $45,000 job I did. $45,000 job. Now I do free. We don't go now final. And then get forgive Sierra Leone. As soon as President
Biden.
Yes, President Biden endorsed. Of course, they'll get forgive $29.8 million plus. I create a job of 2,049. 49 people don't go to the secretariat. I get what I do inside secretariat today for blend down with diasporans. About 30 diasporans in there for pool. I get the technical, me know what to make a draft already. If they can come for just consultancy for help them how the secretariat for look like and build up, then I have excuse. Because that is national, you know what I mean, oriented. It is not political. I'll do that.
Okay.
If I work with them, I will not work with them because so many things then they where me values the one stand for. I know they see now this government, right? I know they see freedom of speech now this government. I know they see freedom of assembly in this government. I know they see the kind of governance structure, even though the previous SLPP under the Kabah administration, when they sing against them, they do alter against them. Notice say, make them sing as long as they don't go against a bush. We enjoy democracy, even though, not only me party, I go give kudos on that. We see the same thing under the reign of Anes Baikoma. The Sylvia Blinding, where can join with delegate today. A cartoon I make her on and everything. It did nothing to her. We see a lot.
So you would actually say that under the reigns of Anes Baikoma, Sierra Leone actually enjoy human rights?
We came number 1 in the whole of Africa and number 3 in the whole world. It is not me. Go and check the records. This is what we have been doing.
I ask you again.
Yes.
In the name of Sierra Leone, in the name of country before self,
yes.
In the name of the green, white, and blue,
yes.
In the name of everything you and I stand for, yes. Would you, in all honesty and fairness, say Sierra Leoneans enjoyed human rights under President Anes Baikoma?
Yes. No journalists we are castigated into the court of law and then put behind bars. We've never seen it. Show me one. That's not
a journalist was actually killed and buried, leaving his young daughter behind under that regime.
Who's journalist?
I forgot his name.
Samura?
Please, people, if you know the name of the journalist.
Samura. Let me tell you about Samura. Samura is my friend. He's my brother. Samura is my friend.
He had a concoction following a severe beating by the people in the regime, and he passed away.
No. Let me tell you, we talk. He's my friend. I have his number. I know his wife. Kind of everything. We grew up at the same place. He was a police later before he became a journalist. Now, in fact, when I go Sierra Leone with the campaign, now in first go meet me. Now me also meet me. We eat together. We talk. And I tell me say, Basi, no say the thing. No waste the time. Na John say the G. Now first go tell me say John Bono say because I'm next in country. Now as I say, well, I get enforced them at the column. Me in talk immediately before they left. When I tell them say when they go beat. Explain, give me. I don't have to go deep into that. He's a brother. He's a friend. But like that, what may happen. You understand? For say now that it took him 3 months before he died. It took 3 months before he died. So you see, politics they destroy me.
So are you saying because it took 3 months before he died, therefore he did not suffer human rights abuse in the arms of people within the past regime?
Fine. These are isolated cases. I can tell you one thing is I not for go into I know Samura. So I say Samura is a brother. I know the kind of personality he is. Even when we go implement large-scale commercial farming, na mi hotel na country lodge. We consume one all night. We sit down from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. in the morning. Me and him 1-to-1 at my own hotel room. We dey talk in the terms of certain strategy. The only thing he and former President Nkrumah, not me the pool personally, even outside politics. You understand? I mean, get for caution and say, no, he's a president. Stop this thing. He say, before God and man, he say, Basi, if unless say they kill me, let kill me. He said, I'm a brother, Now I belong with it, but that's a different case. But in that case where he was beaten severely, I am telling you, before God and man, and the Inspector know nothing about that. I'm telling you, before God and man, I know they call God in name in vain. I'm a Christian, right? The perpetrators them will do that one day, you know what I mean? And the one they go after, now deep things. This is all politics. And they tell you, Samura is a brother, is a friend. We don't sleep in the same bedroom. You know, not to one time, two times. The South are grow up. Now they can't do a policeman. You know, he spent about 13, 14 years with me before he become journalist. And when I go to the first man will go meet me. In fact, now the first man will drive me. We go to a beach. We go to a white small motor car. We drive. We go to an isolated area. Me know the dream. So when we get there now in the dream, we spend a lot of time. So I know the story. I know a lot about that. So I can say again, despite some things that will happen now the country, isolated things there. But in general, where we do assessment, where you sit a subject, there are times you get, let's say, 90%. What about the 10% we not get for them become 100? Right? So
okay.
I hear you. That's I type of thing.
I hear you, Mr. Bassi, but I think, say, from everything we know, you say it takes 3 months for a die from the occasion, but you also know waiting a trauma. You know waiting an injury trauma. I'm sure I don't need to explain that to you. And I'm sure so you know waiting a concoction and how sometimes concoction can. Now you say the president himself wasn't aware of that incident. That's fine. The president is not always aware of everything that goes around him. And I say the same for this regime. The president is often blamed for a lot of things, but they're aware of. But now that make you need forget the right people them around you. Now that make you need forget people them way measured around you. That way, people them not go they take matters into their own hands and then call your name inside. But from where I sit, I cannot say that the Anes Nkrumah regime was a blanket slate free of human rights abuses.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that is why I gave an example, in relation to an exam. When you take an exam and then you score 90%, you had an A. You came out with an A, right? But what about the 10? Well, you still have an A. So that's the type of it. We have cases. You know what I mean?
Okay, Mr. Bassi, we get
yeah.
Because of time and we not get a lot of time, I definitely want for you don't make a lot of cases as to why you want to become the flag bearer and why you contest for the flag bearership. I want to ask you, how is the APC? Is the APC as a party a wholesome party, or are there divisions within the party? We know for say when I get the main party gets the internal fracas with the NRM and whatnot. Have you guys resolved your issue? Are you back to country before self, or are you to self for self?
Thank you very much. You see, the APC party is a very unique party. We are always like that when we fight to come back into governance. The time where Shaka Stephen may abdicate the seat of power, right? There was an infight, even though we've been small. But late Babe Kama, they think say na go give. The late SI Kuma, me think say na go give. That infighting in there until when late President Bobby Stephen me get for call in the SI Kuma say, I want to make you go take that small boy waiting at the military, JS Momo, can present him, say now the key. So SI Kuma, Kamatelo, Babe Kama, we are all fighting. So that they happen. It came again in 2007. You may not say one of we big guns them at the APC. Me slap on by Kuma. And I'm small about by then. Wait in the first time, in the 40s, like what me said in the 40s. It's slap him. Who that are you? Why you can't stand for the challenge big money? They slap him. So we then a court still we win. Then things then they always they happen. But let me tell you, the APC now one, and we go always be one. Now the issue of the NRM where they don't really say, well, we want A, B, C, D, E. The former president called them on McKinney. He gets a meeting with them, and then we conclude in an amicably resolution. And the end of the day, they agree in certain terms. So the first draft what they make, then take that draft, then push it aside. Now they appoint 15-man independent committee where they come up with all the guidelines. They will come up with an agenda. Where they don't done, then they submit them to NAC, the National Advisory Council, where go endorse them, and that's going to be done final between the 10th to the 15th of January next year, 2021, because we will start with elections then on the 19th of January, and they go on to the 19th, we'll get the National Delegates Conference, which will they go choose the flag bearer. I hope, say, by the grace of God, I will emerge victorious. But what I try for say, Naya, at this point in time, is that the peace is sure to come. The hope is sure to come. That is how we are at all. But now, they don't put aside everything. The amendment, now in the NEP compile, we don't know what will qualify you for make you be, for make you go run for flag bearership. At first, the Constitution, we Constitution say, at least if around 10 years as an honorary foundation member, right? Then if they pay you dues either in cash or in kind, like what take people like go at Salone for Mokugeri / commercial farming, then they donate that they continue for paying dues. Then also if you be a particularist, they get all anything, maybe they bring then issues then people they think about monetary contribution, because we don't know. Because if you left are open, sometimes go pass 1,000, you go stand this time. But sometimes they tell you, say, well, the one that get for contribute, it will be for make you stand as flag bearer. If you believe in something, you should say indeed that you want. Sometimes they go say now 50 million, or maybe 75 million or 100 million. Because we don't know whether if it will come with monetary issue on that or they will take that away. But I do believe that money aspect go there, because if they not put that one day, we go buckle just like the last time. So they don't want that.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Basi. So they come now to me last few questions then. Okay, you don't answer the Kuskas and whatnot. In 1 minute, will you change your chairman of the party?
Well, this is democracy. Decision making is done by consultation. Democracy with votes, right? We got for weights, make them done with what the document say. Maybe the document will talk say, if you now a flag bearer, I don't contest 110 or 210, right? You know qualify again for run again. Or if you don't become the chairman and leader of the party, 110 or 210, then you face the over. Now, I believe that a well-calculated, well-experienced, and intellectual team, and for look at all aspects how they would draft this. And now for
okay, I go wait for make the in that case, I go wait for make the new constitution come on ado. Make we read them, and I go call some of the APC alleged them. Make we can sit down here and make we see if the constitution is aligned with country before self. Yeah. Because if indeed, then they push. No. I know what I'm saying. I'm not saying the words. Okay. I'm saying the sections of the constitution will indeed reflect country before self. If indeed nadande na the goal. Una moto na country before self. Now una they draw up a new constitution. Una they go vote this constitution, legislate this constitution and whatnot. So I'm saying, make this constitution come on ado, make una go do una conference, make this constitution come on ado, and then somebody like me and some other people then go sit down, we go read this constitution and see if the constitution is reflective of country before self. So Mr. Basi Kamara, let us say, say with politics in Africa and particularly in Sierra Leone, it's not your academics that puts you before, it's not your academic that sells you, not your academic they give you the recognition. Mm-hmm. Or even the position where you vie for. It takes a lot of networking. It takes a lot of canoodling and scheming and promises and this and that and what have you. How confident are you that you are sitting in a good position to actually, catch or capture the nomination?
Thank you very much. Let me give you one secret. You know, beaucoup people don't know. Hey boy, you can come now, VOS, they talk, so they not even recognize. No. You know, say them vote the last flag bearer contention na Salone. Before we go away and let's go also body and the NAC votes. Do you know how much I have? 84%. Now me winner. Go do ask anybody in the APC. When the NAC people then sit down, I was on the ground 9 months. I'm not the first person to declare a worker length and breadth of the country. When them vote, then go show and it's by Kuma. And it's by Kuma say, no, and don't call everybody, say, make the all day together, more could choose one among yourself. And of course, nobody will do that one day. Now we choose one among yourself. All man believing safe. When NAC vote, I had 84%. Do you know the reason they go to make them vote me? They say, we not Sabia and small boy, yes. It's not popular whatsoever. The Bobo idea, it work the way it don't do. We do research, always it talk now too, it clean and everything. Nobody second to her. Then secondly, it gets something tangible for offer at the country. So as a result, that people vote say, make them gear. You understand? Okay. And let's think about, so for this one, let's wait and see. You see, okay. One thing I one thing, trust God. People that always say, hey, not this time popular, you understand me? We are not, you understand me? Now, reality, they look, the economic reality on the ground. We are experiencing an economic failed state. Not to say, hey, because I be this, or I'm a tribe man this, or I'll link to her, now I'm going to make a go vote for her. Who can make who can solve the problem? I'm a problem solver. Now, me solve the problem for the enablers package. Now, the whole country, Sierra Leone, where they replicate in Gambia, Liberia and Nigeria. This is the basic come come with the formula and solve up the enablers package. When make the global fund, don't they give the rest of Africa. A young one for this, I'm a problem. I don't prove them back there. So now me this that the basic come this way the IRS of the United States of America. When work with me, I get a certificate when they give me for make I do some kind of data mining for universal medical services. I prove them, I clean everything, I come up with the results. You know, they give me a certificate. I'm a problem solver. I understand the fundamentals and I know who say for tackle. Or for me, not someone from come. Can't see that again from we who can't begin to cry again because of they say popular, now you know, or me don't do so whatsoever. Me, okay. I trust God for myself and I believe say me that is somebody anything I pull on me more for me, baby, take up. Everybody will testify say now so in the anything I talk to the drum. If I don't talk what they go free to that this how they go do. Just watch in the Wago and they do everything. And then they make promises. Okay, make promises. Okay, Basi Kamara. Okay, Basi Kamara. Let's say, okay, let's say you have traction within the party and that, you're a person where people then believe in the party and you don't prove your worth and whatnot and what have you. Are you ready to renounce your American citizenship to hold just your Sierra Leonean citizenship because you'll have to do that according to the constitution if you want to become a president in Salone? You see, this is the greatest hypocrisy we get in the country. Where they label on something where honestly it don't make much sense in the area.
It's a yes or no question.
I'm coming. It don't make much sense. How many people are there who are British citizens, American citizens, serving as ministers or whatever? We say, no, minister and this. The same thing we talk about presidency. Now, he said that make where you go, they say for make you become a parliament, a minister, if you become an honorable parliamentarian, and then they call it an honorable minister. The process, the constitution will tell you. So if you get a dual citizenship, you not qualify. How many of them are there? It is unfortunate that the young party and bring this time, blow this out of proportion. But let me tell you, right? I will not announce it now. Let it left with you, the individual, just like Boris Johnson in the UK, Benjamin Netanyahu in Israel, and other people there. Benjamin Netanyahu get 2 citizenship.
We are not talking, Mr. Bassi. No, give me a second. We are not talking about other countries. We are talking about Sierra Leone, where this issue has become a very contentious issue We then say they not care about ministerial posts, they not care about this, but when it comes to the presidency, you can only have one nationality, and that is the Sierra Leonean nationality.
So
I ask you again, are you willing to denounce your American citizenship and take sole ownership of the Sierra Leonean nationality as a president, if you become a president?
Yes, if I become a president, yes, of course, yes. Now these are the type of explain. When Netanyahu become the prime minister, nobody not tell her. It just relinquish the American citizenship and British citizenship. When Boris Yeltsin become the British prime minister, nobody not tell him about the American citizenship because he was born in New York. He relinquish him. It is very simple. Not take as a criteria. Nobody will tell me that because when morals and ethics teach me well, because I want for serve me people, I want for concentrate on them, and not for people to say, hey, wait, this and so on. No. As I assume, then I will relinquish it. Very simple and honest about it. I have made it now categorically clear that, of course, yes.
Okay. You don't answer the question. You assume and then you relinquish. If you not assume, obviously, there is no need for you to relinquish. That's fine. That's fair game, and I think that should be fair game. Now, in 2 minutes, because I wrap up the show now, in 2 minutes, I want to make you tell Fambul them, and I will give you 2 uninterrupted minutes. Tell Fambul them, if you're the flag bearer, waiting now the 3 most important emergency things them, we go then your manifesto, where you go put an emergency response to in the first 100 days of office.
Number 1, agriculture. Number 2, job opportunity. Number 3, health. And then I can combine the water where we not get enlightened. At least if you don't ask for that day, it will be number 4. But now, why agriculture? Agriculture are the owners of the world. Now, the blueprint say we get 100,000 hectares of land. People of Sierra Leone are not going to listen. How are we able to solve the problem of Sierra Leone? 100,000 hectares of land. Do we have it? We have over 300,000 hectares of land. But the 100,000 hectares of land, we don't go to Tomabone. Now, the south side, the presidents come on above. We go do feasibilities there. We get them. We implement the large-scale commercial farming. We utilize this 100,000 hectares of land. How much this going to produce? It's going to produce every time because we're going to produce twice in a year. We will produce in the first year, we will able to get like 600,000 tons, metric tons of rice. Do you know how much for rice now at the world market? The cheapest now 500. So if you just take the one that you multiply, you know what I mean? We're going to make between 300 to 1 billion for every harvest we do in the sales. So that make us say, how are we able to solve the problem? No, assume say that's not it. I become president and no money at the coffer. As this current regime say, hey, no meet money. No, we assume say, we self no meet money. What are they do? Now, oh my goodness. Now the knowledge come. I make us say, we they suffer because knowledge only. Are they quantify the whole, nobody they do them. Let me self the do them. Are they quantify the whole country as a deliverable? I know some people not understand this. They are use them as a receivable. Where are they use them as a bargaining power? Now the World Trade Organization, they go outside the World Trade Organization go tell them, say, this is what we have. You understand? Then you look at this, they look at the quantum, where it go worth something like 10 to 15 billion, and only they ask for $6 to $7 billion. Then that they serve as a leverage on behalf of Sierra Leone. Would they get that money there? Instead of 6 billion or 5 billion, would they get sustainable light, sustainable health facility in the country? Would they get a large-scale commercial farming? And that large-scale commercial farming, now there where we don't invest, with the process, with the package, with the transport, but we market and then we export an international community. We they make for every sales what we make out from that, we they make at least $300 to $600 million. You know what they do that money there? That money there don't become a receivable. Now they pay upfront for the 6 or 7 billion we don't take. So that 6 or 7 billion they now they use for strategize for the next 5 years. Where all the other money they come, just the day, you know what I mean, under the jurisdiction of the bank governor, and foresee how they plan for the next 5 years. I'm a budget specialist. They say we get budget guys, they wait for manage with budget with debt or whatsoever. I'm a specialist. I act as a financial, a specialist. Now, Medtronics, one of the most powerful company in the world with 84,000 staffs, the best and the most powerful medical company in the world. I get influence there for influence some of the medical equipment better than everything. I work with them. I know the CEO. I know so many people then. It come out again. I don't work with so many people in other areas there for healthcare. Recently, guess what? I meet with the director for the Department of Commerce, the state of Minnesota. I get to meet with him. Me in as well as Ron Anderson, the president for Minnesota State University System. When I tell him, I say, Bashi, what do you want? He said, if you win this thing, what you want to do? I tell him. He said, you get me back. So this is not a promise or word say. This is something I don't meet with them, we don't evaluate them, and we don't know. It is not free. Let people say, because they were saying that free, so they're like, it's not free. But the way we don't do, they accept them. I get a blueprint where I say, I don't make them known because it goes spike, but I don't tell you how I get that money they upfront. And I get people that will get me support where I don't get, I did that shit there. Yes, they make that $5-6 billion there, and they get it upfront. And when we get, for sure, the water, the oil of Salone, we just need 800 million. For sure, the light for the whole country, we just need 1 billion. So if I get
Mr. Bassi,
I will solve the problem at Salone.
Okay, Mr. Bassi, thank you very much, and for put your platform, your three top in that order. But from where I'm sitting, I don't normally say what I do. I don't normally talk about my profession. I can let me people and take me like Olodo. Like I say, while they talk, take the sense and leave the nonsense for me. I will restructure your order. And this is how I'll restructure your order. You say agriculture first.
Yeah.
But in order for produce the type of agriculture where you talk about, you definitely need mechanized farming.
Yes, let's get commercial farming.
Okay, just give me a second. You need large-scale commercial farming, you need mechanized farming. So the way you list your order was agriculture, employment, and health. And I will reverse it to say electricity, health, and agriculture, then you get employment. So actually, I go put agriculture in the fourth, because when you don't get your electricity, you don't stabilize your electricity, then your healthcare system can work. Then picking the no go they die fitty fatter because lights not they generator not they turn on belle woman they die, hospital no light, what not they for operate this that. Then we doctors them, we nurses then get lights for study, then hopefully they study well, hopefully the teaching system is good, and then you tackle agriculture, and then the agriculture now go trickle down into employment. So that's how I will order it if Matilda was doing the ordering. It's just a little tip for you to consider. Now, my last and final question to you today now. Are you measured? Are you measured for the position you are vying for, and do you have the temperament that it takes to be a leader?
Thank you very much. Now, Udeyeri said and say, Adebayo, they cost mommy cost, they do this, then cost me mama pass more than any of me. Mama no me don't die too. Now me and me mommy die. Do it over the campaign. I go meet me mama, then I sick bay, look me pee, a cry long cry, now we PI, now he laugh. He say, if I not from born you, they not for cost me. Now everybody boss la for go to be team. Now me I campaign for 9 months, then I get 64 exposure, both television and radio. Abubakar Bangura, where a day or so now member of viewers, now me SLBC, journalist. I go tell you about that. I get all kind of program. I'm the most popular, and at that time make me known. Then they call me the diaspora, aspirant. then cost me till whatsoever. One thing when it comes to public, you know, I'm a different person. I get different personality. Now, my place of work, now a different bass you will see. When I then I'm at home with my wife, now different bass you see. With me picking them, now different bass. Are they on social, you know, aspect again? Now different bass you go see. So when you talk about temperament, right? Nobody, now one thing I can always say, Matilda, one way they test a man, look at the man in humble beginning. My wife, why as I be now a day with up till now. We don't married for 19 years. We don't in a relationship for 22 years. So why don't left her? I'm a young man. Me and my way they bluff. If you see me in naturally, you don't go for love me. Honestly speaking, when you see me naturally, apart from TV, you don't go for love me. But yes, still, I not ever left me woman. I deal with her. So that don't show say I get patience, I get long suffering, and I get commitment. And all is perfect. No, with the faith, yes. Baby, what for the faith to the make palaver? With the faith to the make palaver, but yet still, you know what I mean? I stick there with them, I love them, and I uphold them, and I cherish them. 22 years in a relationship, 19 years in marriage, because I'm married in an early age. Yes, still we're able for marriage up to this moment. So now one thing we talk about long suffering, patience. So somebody go commend me for that. Go again at my community and ask who that is young man. One thing that they tell you, say, in what I am born. The area again, the late boss, that the Minister of Health and Sanitation, Dr. Dafe, he don't die, Dr. Kishito Dao, when I'm the Chief Medical Officer, then they tell you, say, that body, you know, any 20 talk, and they've cut. Now, so I come up. Me word, now me word. If I don't talk, say, and they give you, for example, $2,000. The mere fact that you don't come on me month, if you know they pay me, and I cannot meet up, I just get for meet that commitment today because of you don't come up, because me voice, me words, now it make me bash, not only the physical body, now you word, now it make you the person where it be. Throughout the ladder, that make at the ascend my life. Look at me in the United States of America. I am the northern supervisor for the United States Postal Service. A black man. Where I get over, you know, 500 staff around me, all over the place. A black man, you know, for assume such position, and they do so many things. So how much more? You know the pressure at this part of the world. One way, then go look at you at your skin. They say no, but no, they really not say that how they solve problem. That is strength. That is skill, and that not the knowledge and wisdom where God Almighty give me. Bring any problem. Now for that look come, I go meditate over them. It is solved. Where then come with this coronavirus. In the United States, I am one of the students who participate for come up with the model where we do this kind of forecast in terms of probabilistic calibration. Basi Kamara, go through the waiting set, you will see my name under Dr. Fauci. Now, me are the only young man where they consult them university, where I take part. So for something an issue, it's not an issue. Don't look at me say this is not a young man or a friend whatsoever. The people then cried the last time. They said they want somebody who get a fresh face, we not get no political stain, no political baggage, and somebody will go offer something. Look at myself. I've never participated in politics. Look at my track record. You know, I grew up in a humble beginning as a Christian. And they pay me tithes in that church. You know, I respect God, and they teach that in our church. And they teach that university in our school. And they work, I get practical experience. I get 22 years working experience. I begin for work at the age of 24 years. And at that time, I became a junior accountant na Netla Hospital. My first boss na Ahmed Kochokreu. So they go tell you from the interview, they go tell you, say, he's second to none when it comes to in profession. Is second to none. So for man, the office of president, somebody will get an information background, economics background, accounting background. I want to say the tifra money. I want to say they manipulate that budget. I want to see the.
Okay, well, the people of Sierra Leone, this na Mr. Basi Kamara, we na a current aspirant for the flag bearership of the All People's Congress Party na Sierra Leone. He don't come, he don't talk to una, he don't tell una about himself, he don't tell una about his goals, his aspirations, he don't tell una about his contributions them, he don't tell una about his dreams them, he don't tell una about his vision. Waiting me, as Matilda go say, is I wish and good luck in pursuit. You know, as he says, he's a God-fearing man, and God knows we need some God-fearing people in that country right now, and for a long time to come. We do need them. We need someone that is guided by the light of God and by the fear of God. So it don't give we an expose, it don't tell we who that be, it don't you know. Obviously, I mean, you can call the man for what he is, but Sierra Leone has suffered from a brain drain, and we can certainly say, no matter who say you dare at the fence, his knowledge, his expertise is absolutely a brain drain to the nation, right? No matter how you look at him, his knowledge, his expertise is a brain drain to the nation. And we get so many of where we knowledge and we expertise a brain drain to the nation. And if we all come collectively to help the nation, I think so we go able to realize a better Sierra Leone, a good Sierra Leone. Tell people them, I know for say this now an inside party thing where una they go inside, but I sure say some of your colleagues them will get for votes for you, then self go they watch you. I want in just 1 minute, because we don't run over the show, I want to make you tell people them why they should trust you and why they should give you a chance this time around.
People of Sierra Leone, this non applique again Basi Kamara. I contest the 2018 flag bearer ship. Unfortunately, I don't succeed. I count on that today for make una look beyond. Sierra Leone, they bleed at the edge. Sierra Leone don't go down the dungeon. Sierra Leone needs somebody with a God-fearing somebody, not only so-called God-fearing way with the Yerise whatsoever. Somebody where in track record will prove that. Me once the president of Sierra Leone Scripture Union at the whole country in 1993. And also me a deacon at the church at the teach. Go ask pastor, is now a bishop, Abiose Colin Pratt, who is Basi Kamara. If you say anything negative, then at the resign for run for president. Go na my community. I mean very banner. I mean let faith where they come up. But one thing what I'm gonna tell you say now a man anything where he do he gets a stubborn, and anything where stubborn he make sure say if for overcome him. Now that stubbornness that they are land delicate today. God don't bless me. Who's a day? I'm not a run for president because I want money. No. I not get any limitation for travel any part of the world. I enjoy what called global immunity. I can sleep today if I go Japan tomorrow. That ticket tomorrow they buy, I go there. So that's not the enjoyment of every man. If you look, wait again, I get a wife, I get a family, successful family. You know, I get few assets them way anybody can say, oh, what you get? Okay, don't get also don't get this. God don't bless me to all them things then they. By nature, I get what I believe say I hope for satisfy. But I they look to una. The suffering is too much. Things has gone beyond. And the way how things they go, if we not get the right kind of person, I am telling you, Sierra Leone will never wake up from the slumber. This is not the last chance. We get two options. Now we get A and B. If we choose, say, will they take in the path, who's will they go? I'm telling you, say, that internal damnation. We need a revival. We need a recovery army. We need a youth man, a young man who don't go through suffering. When I don't hear me background, I touch wood, I sell cola, I sell orange, I sell Gary. You na go na God rich. You na ask who them they call Bobo Fania. Na me them give that name they become me they taught. At the secondary school, they taught from my for go sell. I'm not ashamed. So if I have all this humble beginning and I know when somebody dress fine, even they try for make like for say nothing will happen, I not say it is so far. Because I understand, I go through all the crucibles today. People of Sierra Leone, Lord will not vote because and say, this is my brother and my tribe men on a region. I am telling you, Lord, we ask God, Lord, we seek God in faith. Let God choose for we. And if we all open with hearts and choose, I believe, say, I will become victorious. And if una consider me as una own picking, somebody will not ever participate in politics, somebody will don't give a lot in country. Una don't hear say that me do the climate change budget. I don't go to a large-scale commercial farming. I go last December, I see people and they suffer for the whole December, not no day. I spent 17 million for make party 2 days for the community. Everybody enter inside my compound. 2 days. Me that I can post it because I don't go through, suffering. Una consider me for make a amend that country. We go work, be a problem solver. I go be a down-to-earth president. I go be someone where they come down to the grassroots for camps until I go jog them on. I go sit on that you do not. You know, ever know say that the president is. I go tell you, give me what I drink. I go ask you what's your problem and how the economy will go. I understand the fundamentals, and I go also get a team where go position that country. Where go make sure say. What will they cry? We not ever experience that before. Do ya una think and una pray? Una put God first. Make nobody not come. This time, let the whole country pray for what could get the right kind of leadership. And I believe say if I step there, I go be the person where una all go say, indeed, this that God sent them. Because what you do, I not put concussion on my body. I not believe for Rob Manesi. You know, they can say popo body. That's what my body day. Popo body. Nothing. And I don't say this. And my papa me tell me, you only secrets, not allow let mercy man get encounter with you. My papa, me late daddy, that the last one I tell me before he die. And when I born me in a Bible and give me as a gift, then make if I talk some quote scripture throughout. So I trust God, and apart from that, and for after that, me a hard working person. I work so hard. I believe in result oriented, pursuit. So at the Askuna, where would they go na the convention? Please, not make this mistake. Otherwise, we go for internal damnation, where we go ever live for regret time. Make it not happen for me, say this generation will ever be the generation we will see the light. Lord, we start because let this generation see the light, let this generation see, say, indeed, we are a human being. Lord, we come up from a depressed situation. Lord will be treated just like we serve there in the United States of America. God bless you now for listening. God love you now. I bless you now. And let God bless Mama Sierra Leone. Bravo to all for listening to me. And I tell you now thank you. And I hope say when I come to the country, God himself, the atmosphere will speak, say that the right man this way will be able to lead this nation into prosperity. Now in don't come. God bless you. And I thank viewers as well.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Bassi Kamara, aspirant flag bearer for the All People's Congress Party. I don't hear you waiting is say. There is one thing you cannot say. There is one thing you can say about a man, but there is one thing you can also say about a man that fears God, a man that truly fears God. Me no know waiting na the party position or waiting not to the party position. As you know, I know everybody they allot me one bolai to one party and me other bolai to the other party. Me knows to one party, me much to one party. But as I can always say, I belong to no party. And I'll never belong to any party. The only party I belong to is the green, white, and blue. So, in the interest of country. Before self, I asked every individual way get right for cast and vote, make them put country before self during the convention. I wish you well, Mr. Bassi Kamara. The only thing I ask for, if you happen and you are so lucky and God don't say now you tell me forget the flag bearership and you get the flag bearership, just promise me say you will come back now this platform. And you not go shy away from me questions them, and you not go shy away at any time where I call you for can talk to the people. And if it is indeed that God don't can say you go become the president and you become the president, just know say whenever I call you or we call you, viewers call you for can talk to the people, make you not be like some people them way we know. Not to election, no more for talk to the people. You have to engage with the people always whether you are successful or not, because the people need to know what you are doing. So everybody where, then at the world, I tell you, thank you. Any side where we find ourselves, may God continue for bless we, may God continue for protect we. Like I can continue for say, Corona is real, Corona the kill. Una wear una mask them, una wash una hand them, una keep una social distancing them. To me, people then a salon and also say una don't pack, una don't ready for the ladi da. But even as soon as they do the ladi da, do ya? The same rules them won't have been the observed na ya, una take them same practice then they and una observe ayanda. We young one then they die too much. We are losing. But we have to hurry up and gain. One thing that is clear from the discussion where we get this night is that Sierra Leone has gone through a massive brain drain. And the only way we can get back now, if we become tolerable to one another, if we become accepting to one another, and if we left this demagogue business and accept people for who they are, accept their view, tolerate and respect their views, and know that no one view, can be, the voice. But there are many voices, but in it all, it should be done with respect and recognition. Again, I ask una make una go donate na the Melkosh Mission International, then donation page. Una make we take care of we war amputees them, we war raped, we war wounded, we war orphans them, and we war widows them. It's very important for make we take care of we self as Sierra Leonean. Mr. Bassi, I wish you good luck in your journey. Let us know what the outcome is, and like I say, you're welcome for come back now viewers, and if you be the flag bearer, can't tell we say now na campaign season. I get for go to Nkolili, I get for go Pujon, I get for go, but remember that there was a platform with a lady called Matilda who was very tough.
I know.
But who just wanted to have a discussion. Yes, I have to be tough because I do not pick any sides. The only side that I pick is the green, white, and blue. So when you come, you have to come correct. And that is the only thing I ask. So from viewers and myself, good luck in your pursuit. And to the viewers family, I tell una thank you. May God bless una. Any side wanna fend una safe na this world. Until we meet again, have a good evening, everyone.
Why do a website when you can create an app for your business for free? Yes, with TAV App Maker, you can make an app as easy as pie. It only takes a few minutes. Simply choose a design template you like, add the features you want, and once you are happy with the results, publish it to Google Play and Apple Store. So your clients can download your app. Go to TAVAppmaker.com and create your free app today.